My name is Krishna Chaitanya. I will be your faculty for this session. Let me give you my introduction first, and then we will proceed for the session. We will understand careers in information security. As I mentioned, my name is Krishna Chaitanya Surapraju. I have 16 plus years of experience in cybersecurity. I worked as a faculty. I have trained almost all the law enforcement departments, right from National Police Academy to State Intelligence, from Cybercrime Department to AP Police or Telangana Police Academies. I have trained almost all the corporates, right from Microsoft, Google, IBM, to the smaller companies like Kenna Metal and other organizations. So for over a period of 16 years, I've been there in this field as a faculty. Apart from being faculty, I'm also a security architect. I have designed architectures for a number of corporates, including pharmaceutical companies, education sectors, infrastructure companies, IT organizations, data centers, government organizations, including president level organizations for a country. So, being an architect, I work on, work with UTMs, firewalls, endpoint data protections, DLPs, and a lot more other technologies. I'm also a pen tester. I have tested more than 1,000 plus web applications and network applications. And most of the time, I've been successful in giving them a proof of concept on how I was able to break into their systems. Apart from being a pen tester, I'm also a forensic investigator and help local cybercrime departments to resolve more than 200 plus cyber crimes. I've been awarded a good citizen for helping them in terms of resolving the cases, lots of cases. And yes, I'm also a senior security architect for Cyclops and a prime faculty for security control technologies. Okay, so today we will be discussing about how do we hack our career into information security. So that means primarily we'll be discussing about these three terms, four terms rather. The first one, what we would be discussing would be on information. The second term would be security. Third term would be hacking, and the fourth term would be career. So let us start jumping onto the presentation. I'll give the agenda. We will start off with understanding what is information. We will also understand what security is, and then we would jump on to what information security, what kind of different information security verticals we have, or where can we actually get into after completing our courses on cybersecurity. Then understand different job roles in cybersecurity. Also understand how to break or how to hack into your careers, no matter whether it is related to cybersecurity or any other career, how to hack into careers. And finally, I would also give you a career plan document probably a tip to prepare your own career plan. So let us start understanding it from the concepts of information. So if at all somebody asks you, like what is information? The reason we need to understand the meaning for information is for one particular reason. That is something like there is a myth in the market. Whenever somebody talks about information security professional, they mistake us to IT technical. So just to clarify things, just to mention that we are not we will start talking about definitions on information and also security. Information, primarily, it's a fact which is either understood, processed, or stored. It's a message, a small message, which can be either stored, processed, or transferred. So usually information will be stored, processed, or transferred. And whenever I ask you, like, where do you store your information? Where do you process your information? 99% of the time, I would get an answer saying, like, we store information in computers, laptops, desktops, servers. But that is not it. We would also store information in brains. We also store information in paper, notebook, lot more other places. So whenever I talk about information security, I always means to represent information that is stored in all places, including information that is stored, including information that is stored in books and papers. So it becomes our data that is like, what is security? Let us assume you daily travel to your office or to your college using a bike. And if at all I ask you a question saying like, are you secure? Probably your answer would be something like, yes, I wear a helmet, I wear knee pads, gloves. I also have insurance, bike insurance and other things. But that does that make you secure? Usually it won't. Security, no matter whatever the security control you have, no matter whatever you wear, helmet or knee pads or other things, there is always a chance of somebody coming on the wrong side and hitting you and going away. Security is a continuous process. It is a state of being secure. So the definition itself says it is not a fixed thing. It is not something like you cannot, assure saying like, yes, I have got gloves, I have got knee pads and helmet, I am 100% secure. You cannot do that. In the same manner, we talk about security in any perspective, let it be information security, let it be physical security or anything. Usually it's a state. It is a continuous process of being free from danger or threat. This itself gives us a lot of clarity. We can understand that this is not a domain that is going to expire soon. We can also understand that this is not a domain which recently got established. If at all I ask you a question saying like, when exactly we got this industry where we talk about artificial intelligence or machine learning, probably it is not even a decade. Probably late 2015s, we started learning about ML and AI. And this domain would be there for another couple of decades, I'm assuming so. If at all I talk about SAP, how long this particular domain has been there in the market? Obviously, it might be there in the market for a couple of decades. And how long it will be there after a couple of decades? Nobody knows, because these days, the market services, 18% of SAP's market has been taken over by Oracle every year. That means probably in a couple of years, we might not even see SAP devices apart from the regular organizations who might have been using it, who might have been fixed to using such kind of applications. Nobody else might be purchasing SAP's new, at the latest level position. In the same format, if at all somebody asks you like how long this security field has been there in picture, security domain has been there in picture, it's been there from Stone Age. Right from Stone Age, people were worried about security. The only difference is it takes different forms. Whenever we talk about security, it has got lots of forms. And when I say information security, way back in 2002, 2003, we were only considering about hacking into computers, hacking into desktops and laptops or servers. Usually it is considered to be a network penetration testing kind of thing. But later down the time, from 2005, 2006, people started looking more towards web application security. And later down the time, it started moving towards mobile, IoT, and other things. Security is something which we need for any technology. And no matter it is cloud, no matter whether it is MI or AL or SAP, everywhere we need security. And security refers to all measures that are taken to protect a place, a person, or a time. So as a security architect, whenever I go to a client and if somebody asks me like, what is that you are going to do to my organization after setting up your controls? Can you assure me 100% guarantee? The first answer what I'm going to give them is no. It is only 99.999% of security is what I can assure. And what I would also say is, it is not something like you would have some technologies implemented and you are 100% secure. Usually, if at all I'm giving you a presentation, I would refer myself as a security practitioner. Like doctors, how doctors call themselves as medical practitioners. We call ourselves as security practitioners for one reason. Let us say, we understand that these days are of COVID, days, and for past couple of months, we are stuck with this COVID issues. The doctors never know, about COVID. Few months back, before December 2019, nobody knows what COVID is. Even doctors are supposed to learn more about, COVID, and they need to start treating COVID. In the same manner, with security, there would be every day there would be lots of viruses, malwares, different kinds of attacks coming into picture. And we also act as a doctor. We also start treating security issues. And that's the reason whenever I go to a client, like how a doctor says you are, how a doctor cannot assure you saying that you won't be having any health issues later down the time once I treat you. In the same manner, whenever we set up a security architecture at a client's position, we would always say it is only 99.9% secure, and there is always a 0.01% of chances of him being hit. And for preventing such kind of issues, in their organizations, they need to continuously maintain it. And that is what the definition also says, refers to all measures taken to protect place, person, or thing, and continuously free from being danger. So now that we understand what is information, information is something which is stored, processed, or transferred in any format. And we also have information in brains. And we also understand what security is. It's a continuous process. And if I say career in information security, what I mean to say is you will be responsible to safeguard any data that is stored in an information asset. Information asset can also be a people, person, book, digital, or hardware-based technologies. And you would be responsible to safeguard that particular data. So now that we understand what is information security, let us see why we need to make our career in information security. Why not with other domains? People, if at all you start searching over internet for top 10, jobs in 2020, or probably top 10 jobs in 2021, most often you would see jobs related to data science, jobs related to ML, jobs related to other technologies. You would also see some jobs related to information security. Lots of reports say information security would be the first job for 2020 and 2021. But other reasons, the primary 4 reasons for you, to be sure choosing information security would be something like this. The first one would be unlimited growth. Let us say you start your career as an SAP programmer, SAP developer. After a couple of years in your career, where do you see yourself? Probably you would be a senior manager in SAP, and then what? A senior consultant, and then what? That is where you would start. Let us say you would pick your career as a security system administrator, IT or network administrator. What would happen to you after a couple of years? An IT administrator, they definitely won't have any opportunity to grow further. Let us say you are a programmer, a developer. After a couple of years, what is going to happen? You would become a team leader and probably a manager. And then, of course, based upon your management skills, you would also be able to get into the senior management, a vice president, or other positions. But if at all we are talking about careers in information security, you might start your job as a security engineer, a fresher, or a security admin, or a junior auditor, a junior forensic investigator. From that space onwards, your career would be something like from security analyst, you would become a senior security analyst, then a team leader, then a security manager, then a senior security manager, then probably information security officer. Then you could also get into C-level positions. You could also become a chief information security officer. You can also become a director information security. So you have plenty of options. There is a growth in information security. You would never stuck with your career if at all you are picking up your career in information security. The same thing goes with testing. Same thing goes with other technologies also. With the testing, probably after a couple of years, you might become a senior security tester. Senior tester. But there are no other scopes apart from being a tester. But here we have a unlimited growth. You could become a director of security. You could become a CTO of a security company. You could become a chief information security officer or any other things. Then the other reason for you to pick information security would be like plenty of variety. Now, again, I need to take an example of SAP or testing and other things. Let us say you have picked your career path as a SAP developer. After a couple of years, it is, a fact that nobody would like to stick on with their career throughout their career. For last, few years, most of the time we have observed that people would like to change their job roles. They are willing to take challenging positions. They are willing to get into multiple domains. But if at all you are into a different product development, let us say you are an ASP developer, you are a PHP developer, lifelong you are supposed to develop PHP applications. You don't even get a chance to move from PHP to any other technology. Probably you might talk about, RDBMS or application servers, web services, and other things, but ultimately that would be related to PHP or ASP. But that's not the case with information security. With information security, security, you can become a doctor, you can become an engineer, you can become an architect, you can become a lawyer, you can become an investigator, you can even become an tester, a hacker, you can become a journalist, you can become a faculty. There are variety of options. And when I say you can become a doctor, I mean to say cyber doctor. When I say you can become an engineer, you could become a cyber architect, security architect. When I say you could become a doctor again, a malware analyst, you could analyze malwares. You can become a lawyer, a cyber lawyer. There is plenty of options again in that particular domain. So there are variety of options for information security. There are plenty of options. We will discuss about these kind of options in our next slide. But apart from that, security is also very challenging. Now, when I say challenging, you might have heard about latest issues that have been happening on internet. Most of you might have heard about. Most of you might also own an iPhone. And the recent attack that has been happening on iPhone is, I just need to send you a link, a phishing link. Once you click on that link, it won't be asking you any kind of permissions. It won't be prompting you for any kind of things. Ultimately, it would take control of your iPhone and it would start transferring your information. Probably it would also allow your, the remote user to use your pay, phone pay, GPay, or any other applications and transfer money. Now, this has become, biggest issue for the latest iPhone users. That's not the same thing with, Android. Even Android has got its vulnerabilities. Windows 10 recently there were a few vulnerabilities. I would also give you definitions later down the time if at all you do not understand what a vulnerability is. But there are lots of challenging issues. Most of you might have already, might have heard about ransomwares. Every day there is a new kind of ransomware getting released, and if at all you are aware, last year 2019 the expected market for ransomware was $119 billion. Hackers made $119 billion using this ransomware. And lots of other security issues have been coming up in nature. And if at all you choose your career as security professional, then it is going to be a challenging situation. Every day you need to learn, you need to be up to date, you need to keep your socks up, and you need to keep on running to understand the subject. And it's a very challenging thing for the guys. If at all you are a regular guy who would not like to take any risk, if you would like to go to your office 9 to 5, then most of the times security might not be a preferable job. You do also have few domains in security which gives you a 9 to 5 job, something like a SOC analyst or something like a security auditor. But if at all you are choosing a different domain in information security, then you need to be prepared for any kind of situation. And then the last reason why you need to pick your career in information security is like that creates a real impact. If at all I ask you another question, something like, is there any organization as of now in India or in the world who does not have a security admin or a security engineer? If not security admin or security engineer, who does not have any security control like an antivirus or a firewall? 99% of the organizations do have firewalls, antiviruses, and almost other controls. And yes, without security, none of the organizations would survive. To keep it simple, whoever who has got information, they need information security. So pharmaceutical companies are the primary companies in Hyderabad who need security. Apart from pharma, IT companies, do you believe that education organizations might need information security? Yes, they do. Not just education, infrastructure companies, telecommunication companies, oil manufacturing companies. I would also give you examples of our clients whom we have been serving from all these verticals. Everybody needs information security. Anybody who has got information. That also includes end users like you. End users who also have their information on their mobile phones. Let us say you have information stored on your mobile phone, your credit card numbers, your passwords, or probably your personal files. You have that information, and that needs to be secured. So there is plenty of scope in information security. These are all the 4 primary reasons you need to understand, or probably the reasons what I could give you for why to choose careers in information security. And the next ultimate question usually which comes up from a student whenever I give a live demo, interactive demo, would be something like, yes, we understand that there is a huge scope for information security. Yes, we do understand that it is a challenging position. We do understand that we can get into multiple verticals. We do understand that there is a good pay scale for security professionals. But what about recession? We understand for last couple of months, most of the organizations are facing recession issues. People are being fired. Do we have job openings for information security? That's the first or a primary question I would face whenever somebody talks to me, or whenever I give a counseling to a student. And yes, there is plenty of job offerings even during recession. For that reason, let me give an example of one of our ex-student who recently received an offer. If you could observe this offer has been released on May 12th, and this guy is supposed to join by June 1st. And also observe, this is the position in Hyderabad itself. He's been hired as a manager, technology risk management, and he's been hired in Hyderabad with a salary of 21 lakh rupees. This guy has got around 5+ years of experience, and he's supposed to join by June 1st. Yes, recession will not affect security jobs. In fact, recession is an advantage to us, because due to recession, most of the organizations would fire their employees. And whenever somebody fires their employees, these employees would turn into disgruntled employees. These disgruntled employees, dishonest employees of the organization would start misbehaving with the office information office assets, and we are the ones who are supposed to safeguard the organizations at this time. So most of the people would start jumping from preparing a logic bomb or a time bombs kinds of applications, deleting stuff in their organization, intentionally introducing malicious files into their organization, stealing the information from their organization. And we are the ones who are supposed to address all these kinds of issues in this organization. And that's the reason you would be able to see there would be even more job opportunities in information security for information security professionals for coming up years from 2021 to other years. But this is not me just giving you some example of one of our ex-student and telling you that we have got a greater requirement. Let us also see the reports that have been generated by different organizations. I haven't mentioned a link over here, which is from UGC. The University Grant Commission recently announced that India for 2019, not for 2020, require 5 lakh security professionals. On the other side, NASSCOM has released a report saying like India needs 3.5 million job openings. It has got 3.5 million job openings by 2021. And this report was released before COVID. After COVID, the demand would be even more. And the facts, the sources have been mentioned over here. So now that we understand there is a demand for information security professionals, it has got different kinds of job roles. It has got a variety of job roles. There is a growth in information security. It would be of a challenging in nature. Let us start understanding different kinds of job roles that are there in information security. Not everybody would like to become a hacker. Not everybody, we do also have few posters where we would say most of the people would think about becoming a hacker, but only few plan to catch them. That means you could become a forensic investigator. So for that purpose, let us go through the next part of this slide and understand different kinds of job roles that are there available. This first one would be a BAPT. That would be something like vulnerability assessment penetration testing. To give a simple clarity on this, vulnerability assessment means vulnerability by default is nothing but a weakness or a loophole. Vulnerability might exist on operating systems, applications, hardwares, or even protocols like HTTP or ARP and other things. It exists in everywhere. And a vulnerability assessor is a guy who finds out these weaknesses in organizations. And whenever we talk about vulnerability assessors, you can find vulnerabilities in network infrastructures, in web applications, mobile applications, IoT devices, cloud infrastructure, and in many other locations. And there is another position in this, related to the same task, known as penetration tester. A penetration tester not only identifies the weaknesses related to a computer network or operating system, he will also get into that system, break into that system using this vulnerability, gains access into that system, and shows a proof of concept. Usually, once we gain access into a victim system, we will take a screenshot of his desktop. We will be creating user accounts on his system. We will be creating a text file, a sample text file on his system, on his desktop, to show a proof that we hacked into their system and their system is vulnerable. So vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is a job role. There are, the hierarchy would be something like security analyst, information security analyst, vulnerability assessor, or a penetration tester at the lowest level. Then from there, you would become a senior security engineer or security analyst, and then you could become a manager and it goes on. Yes, you would be able to, you are not just limited to identify vulnerabilities on network. Way back in 2002, 2003, there was a demand for network penetration testers. But slowly, the trend started shifting towards web application. Since 2005, we have observed a greater requirement on web application penetration testing. There is not even a single organization who does not have website or a web application these days. And identifying vulnerabilities to those websites is what a job of a web pen tester. If not web applications, for a few years, we have also observed that most of the organizations started moving towards mobile application. From Uber to Swiggy, from Make My Trip to Oyo, almost every application is a mobile application, including banking applications. Looking out for identifying loopholes over here in this kind of applications would be related to mobile application pen testing. And in recent past, India also started looking out for a new domain, IoT, Internet of Things penetration testing. This would be something like a hardware-based penetration testing, but though it is related to the bins and other operating systems of these IoT devices. So there is a demand for IoT testers in India, but not as much as what we have in the rest of the world. Yes, finally, we also have requirement for cloud infrastructure testers. Cloud infrastructure testers would test GCP, AWS, Azure, or any other local private clouds. So these are all different kinds of job roles we have as a vulnerability assessor and a penetration tester. If at all you are calling yourself as a vulnerability assessor and a penetration tester, that means you are nothing but a hacker. Or rather, we would call you as an ethical hacker. We will talk more about what is hacking in our coming up slides. So that's one particular domain what you could pick. If at all you are interested, more curious towards breaking into stuff, then this domain might be suitable for you. But not all people will be curious into breaking into stuff. Few people would be interested to talk to C-level candidates, CEOs, CTOs, daily handle, talk to them, or work along with them, or become one of them. Or if at all you are coming up from an industry background who has got more than 5+ years of experience, then we usually suggest you to go with security governance domain. Security governance domain has got different kinds of job roles. You could become a security auditor, you could become a risk manager, you could become a gap analyst, or you could become a compliance manager. Recent past, after COVID, India also started looking seriously towards our Data Privacy Act, which has been actually, discussed way back in 2018 and 19. A 171-page document has been already released by Sri Krishna Committee, and very soon India is going to come up with the Data Privacy Act. If that comes into picture, most of the organizations, you might have come across shopping malls asking you to fill up a form to get a lucky draw, where they might ask you your email number, email address, phone number, or your name, which is considered as personal identifiable information. And if at all that information gets leaked later down the time, once we have this Privacy Act, then that becomes an issue. You might have not learnt about GDPR, HIPAA, or ISO 27001, or FISMA, or any other standards and regulatory bodies. But in the world, we have lots of statutory, legal, regulatory, and other compliance requirements going on. Any organization, including the infrastructure companies, including the pharma organizations, they are supposed to meet these compliances. For example, all the health insurance and health sector, healthcare organizations, pharma organizations are supposed to meet HIPAA compliances. It's a Health Insurance Accountability Portability Act, Portability Accountability Act, been actually act of US government, but if at all you are dealing with a US client, then you are supposed to be compliant with this particular act. There are lots, more than 100 of such kind of acts and compliances available. And an organization needs an auditor to check their compliances, verify whether this organization meet all the requirements of those compliances, and they are ready to go with the project. There are lots of organizations who have been hiring security auditors. In India, we have top domains, I mean, top 4 guys who are primarily hiring security auditors. Understanding, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, these are the primary guys. Apart from that, there are other 20 to 30 organizations who have been hiring security auditors. Apart from being an auditor, if at all you become an auditor, your primary job role would be something like you would have a checklist, an Excel sheet, where you are supposed to actually go through the controls, ask these questions with your clients, verify whether they have implemented these controls in their organization or not. Look out for evidences. If they do not have any kind of such kind of evidences, identify it as NC, non-compliant, or else give them some suggestions in terms of preventing such kind of issues. Risk manager on the other side, risk by default means probability of occurrence of threat. A hacker can get into an organization and steal their information, but for past 25 years, if at all an organization hasn't seen any hacker getting into their organization and stealing their information, then the auditor says the risk level is medium or low, though there is a possibility of hacking into the system, or there is a vulnerability in the system. So risk manager, gap analyst, and compliance manager are different kinds of job roles that are related to security governance. Governance or auditing is, we would recommend this to the people who has got around, a few years of experience in a different domain who are planning to get into security. One thing you might need, you need to have to get into governance is proper communication, written and verbal communication. And then we have another domain, which is security management. Security management comes up with different job roles again. Security operations centers architect, where you are supposed to implement lots of security technologies like SIEM, SOC, or probably DLP, endpoint data protections, UTMs, UCMs, lots of other technologies within the organization, understands organization's risk and implement security controls. In the same manner, you could also become a security administrator, probably deal with antiviruses, deal with active directories, deal with firewalls or UTMs, intrusion detection systems or intrusion prevention systems. Then we also have another administrator, security manager job role, something like a firewall manager. Usually we call them as UTM manager, Unified Threat Management Manager, where you would start configuring all these anti-spamming, centralized antiviruses, HIPS, and other security controls. This is like working on with product. And then you could also get into incident response. Now, this is the most happening thing for a few years in India. If at all you are planning to get into incident response, as I mentioned in the earlier slide, security, information security is challenging, and it is more challenging for the guys who have chosen their path to be on incident response domain. So if at all you are an incident response team member, whenever something goes wrong in your organization, no matter what time it might be 2 o'clock in the night, or it might be 4 o'clock in the morning, early morning, you are supposed to pick the call, go to the client's location and start addressing their issues. It is something like national disaster recovery guys, or it is something like an emergency response guys. You are supposed to be available 24/7, and you are supposed to address their issues. So let us say you would get a call from your client 2 o'clock in the night asking you to respond, saying like they have been hit with a ransomware and they want you to help them out from mitigating such kind of things. You would follow all the methods you might have learned as an incident responder, from isolating the systems and then mitigate that particular issues. There are different job roles again in incident response. Apart from being an incident response team member, you could also become a forensic investigator. For your understanding, every 10 seconds there is a cybercrime happening in UK, and they have got more than 3 lakh plus pending cases as of now. 3 lakh plus cybercrime pending cases. In India, we have got around 2,000 cybercrime cases identified in Hyderabad, Cyberabad department for 2019 rather, 2019. And we do not have enough facilities to resolve such kind of cyber cases. We have only few forensic labs, one central forensic lab and then another one TS forensic lab. But apart from that, there are no private forensic labs to resolve cases. That too in a format of, in a form where court can admit it and accept the evidences that have been provided. There will be a huge demand for forensic investigators in coming up years. Actually, Ernst& Young has announced that they are going to hire 1,000 security professionals in Hyderabad, of which around 500 would be forensic investigators. Yeah, they haven't started yet the hiring process, but this is what the demand is for a forensic investigator. If not with forensic investigator, you could also become a malware analyst. Malware analyst is a guy who will be given some kind of raw files. It is something like you would collect samples from a COVID infected patient and you would start developing a vaccine for that particular COVID. The same format, a malware analyst will be given some raw files, some packets, network packets, and they would ask you to analyze whether this raw file, this exe, is malicious or not. If it is malicious, what kind of characters it possesses? Is that of a keylogger? Is that of a Trojan or a backdoor? Or is that of a ransomware? Being a malware analyst, you are supposed to identify the signatures, characteristics of that particular malware, write those characteristics and provide it to the OEM, something like McAfee, Symantec, Norton, or IBM, Microsoft, or any other OEM guys. OEM for your case is nothing but original equipment manufacturers. Way back in 2011, we had a requirement from the Komodo organization where they were offering 9 lakh rupees as a package for a 2 years experienced professional. It's not the same case these days. For a 2 years plus experienced professional, it is something between 7 to 9 lakhs. It is not more than 9 lakhs for a 2 years experienced professional for information security professional. So let me give you also let me also give you different pay scales that are available for these kinds of characters. Job roles, right from network architect, network pen tester to malware analyst. The last job role, you could also become a cyber lawyer. Yeah, there are few limitations to become a cyber lawyer. First, you need to complete your LLB, have your 5 years course, and then get into cyber lawyer. Because there is a huge scarcity of cyber lawyers. The lawyers who have learned IT Act these days in India, they do not actually understand what cybercrime is or what are all the different modus operandis attackers or hackers have been using to break into system. And that's the reason most of these lawyers fail while providing evidences at court of law or probably dealing with the case. I would also give you examples of few of the lawyers whom I have got as my co-speakers. One of my co-speaker, who is a Supreme Court lawyer, charged around 31 lakh rupees to actually block few websites in India. That is what a lawyer could charge, because it's of a lengthy process. They need to deal with CERT India, they need to deal with Supreme Court, they need to understand, vet the URLs, and then probably send it to ISPs, and then finally limit that URL. And this is what a cyber lawyer has charged for a single case. Here in Hyderabad, cyber lawyers are charging anywhere between 4 to 15 lakh rupees per case, depending upon the criticality of that particular case. So let me also talk about other salaries that are available for different job roles. If at all you are planning to become a pen tester, web pen tester, or IoT or network or another thing, for any security professional who has got around 1.5 years of experience, you would expect not less than 5 lakh rupees as a package. That's where it would start from, and it goes up to 7 lakhs to 9 lakh rupees. That's the same case with security architect, SOC analyst. But if at all we are talking about auditors are paid between 7 to 9 lakh rupees for 2 to 3 years of experience. And for firewall administrators, it would be something between 4 lakh rupees to 6 lakh rupees. These are a bit low paid guys, because most often what happens is an IT administrator would learn firewall, an IT administrator or a network administrator would become a security administrator handling their Active Directory. They are paid a bit low, but these are actually not considered as a security job roles. And then we have incident response team members, forensic investigators. we do not have any private entity who has been authorized to investigate forensic cases in India. Even though we, as Security and Psychops, we have been solving cases for cybercrime department, it is them who directly represent the market. We do not investigate on our own. We help them. We act as a consultant to the cybercrime department to solve the cases. So, if at all, if private forensic investigator over there in UK and rest of them in Europe, they charge around £350 a day, and usually any forensic investigation case lasts for around 40 hours, or it might extend up to 160 hours depending upon the criticality of the case. And is what they would earn. Usually a forensic investigator works on a case and they would go for a vacation for a couple of months. This is what has been happening with Europe. We do not have private forensic investigation yet, but we are assuming, due to lots of cybercrime cases coming up every day, India also would come up with its own private forensic investigation. They would allow private forensic investigators to solve cases. And in fact, for this reason, recently, last year in 2019, Infosys has partnered with Bangalore Police, and they have established their forensic lab for 100 crore rupees. So there are plenty of job roles. Few of you might be interested in getting into auditing job role. Few of you might be interested in looking out for active attacks, actively monitoring attacks and other things. That is something like SOC analysis, security operation system analysis. Few of you might be interested in dealing with malwares, investigating cases. For your reference, there are more than 5 companies established in India who have been solving cybercrime cases, investigating cybercrime cases, especially related to cyber insurance of US. So if at all there are any insurances, cyber insurances companies in US, they have been outsourcing their cases to India to solve, investigate, perform digital forensic. So these are few different courses what we have, different job roles what you pick. And let me quickly wrap the other things. Most of you might understand the image what I have mentioned in the background. That's an image from Money Heist. You might understand. The reason why I have been keeping that particular image in the background is one thing. If I ask you like, how do you hack? Most of you might not be able to answer. But if at all I ask you like, how do you rob a bank? You might come up with few answers, if not with the full-fledged answers. You might tell me that yes, we would look out for where exactly we have CCTV cameras in place, where do we have cash stored, when exactly the more number of cash will be stored in the bank, how many security guards will be placed, and a lot more other things, right? So we are not robbers or thieves. We know the whole procedure of robbing a bank by watching such kind of series, not just this series, but lots of other series. But if at all I have asked you to hack, for your understanding, there are 2 different meanings for hacking. From a media perspective, from a police law enforcement perspective, hacking is crime. But from a perspective of information security professionals, it is nothing but breaking into computers out of curiosity. Of course, with authorization. We break into computers, we show them a proof of concept like how they are vulnerable. Of course, we will be ethical. If at all you are not ethical, still you are a good guy, but illegal guy. So if at all I ask you in terms of like, how do you hack? Usually any hacker, no matter whatever, let it be bank robbery or let it be regular hacking, there will be 5 different stages of hacking. So these are the stages of hacking. The first one would be information gathering. Reconnaissance is what we call. Reconnaissance is a word of US government, US Army, where, con is nothing but intentionally cheating a person. And recon is cheating a person who is cheating you. That is gathering information of your enemy organization. So the first stage of hacking would be information gathering. Second stage of hacking would be scanning. Third stage of hacking would be gaining access, that is breaking into the system. Fourth stage of hacking would be maintaining access. And the 5th stage would be clearing tracks. Now, once you understand these 5 stages of hacking, we will use the same 5 methods to also hack into our careers. If at all I ask you to hack your career, no matter, forget about whatever you have learned so far, whatever you have understood so far, no matter whatever the job you are planning to pick in your career, you can always hack it. And when I say hack it, you can be 100% sure that you get that particular job by following these steps. So these are the 5 steps what you could actually pick. The first step would be like reconnaissance, information gathering. Usually, if at all you are, I'm not sure, if at all this is of an interactive session, I might have asked you about your profiles. I might have asked you like, where do you stand? What kind of knowledge you have? Since I do not have any of that information, I am assuming you to be a fresher from a college. And if you are a fresher from a college, your college placement officer might have already spoken to you regarding your career planning. A career plan is a document where you would sit and work on with, and you would say, where do you see yourself after 10 years of span of time? You would be in a C, you would like to be in a C position. I must be earning around 20 to 30 lakh rupees. I must have my own car, bungalow, and house or other things. You would prepare all these things in advance and start looking out for jobs that are relevant to this format. And when we talk about information gathering in terms of career hacking, these are all the steps what you would follow. First, prepare a career plan, identify your target organization. Now, let us say you would like to get into top 4 companies, big 4 companies, something like Deloitte, KPMG. You would not start your career with Deloitte, right? You won't be working with Deloitte throughout your life cycle. So what you would do is you would see the next level companies which are a bit lower than Deloitte, who have been doing good, something like Accenture, CSC, or any other organization, for that case. And then you would jump from this particular organization to the top 4 organizations later down the time. So if at all your target organization is Deloitte, where you would like to settle down last time at the last, then you would pick another organization, and then you would go to their career pages. You would check with the websites where, let us say I have picked Accenture. Accenture has been doing too good for this last couple of months. And let us say I have picked Accenture as my target to where I would like to get into or get a job. Then I would get into their website, look for career opportunities, and see what kind of job openings I have in terms of information security, other things. And if at all I go through that, I would also understand their job description. I would also understand different kinds of skill sets, what they have been expecting from me. So once I understand all these things, I would prepare myself. Scanning is preparing yourself with tools and technologies that are required. Now, this is where I would pick an institute like Securi or any other organization, learn all the technologies. First of all, you would check whether these institutes have been training you on all the topics that have been required in the market, and prepare for those tools, get educated, get experience, become an expert in technology, and prepare your resume. And I'm sure what you would be able to observe whenever you scan for any of these career pages would be something like they would be writing a job description, and the first limitation over there would be something like, we are looking out for a 1 years of experience candidate, 1.5 years of experience candidate, and so on. Now, that is where most of the people lack experience in security to get into the domain. Before all you are choosing security control technologies, that's an advantage, because what happens is we will train you for 6 months of duration. Once you are done with this of 6 months of training, we would also give you another 6 months to 1 year of internship. There would be 6 months of internship, and then there would be an immediate job with security control technologies. So you would be working, that's with partner company of ours, Psychops. You would be working as a security analyst or a forensic investigator or a malware analyst at our partner company. So you would also gain experience, you would gain education. Yes, you would also be provided with the communication. There would be definite communication skill development program with our course. And finally, you would prepare your resume to get into the market. So that is scanning phase of your career hacking. Then there is another phase, that is gaining access. Instead of directly attending the interviews of Accenture, you would attend few mock interviews. You would also attend interviews with different companies, understand of related to the same job role, and understand kind of inquiries you might get, or questions you might get. Prepare yourself for the interviews from the target organizations, attend their interview, gain their job, show your skill set. Now, whenever I say show your skill set, what we also make our students to do, if at all you are a student of security, we would ask you to write your own blog. We would ask you to write your own presentation and submit it to CERT India or any other organizations. If time permits, later down the time, I would also give you information related to that. But yes, you need to be known to the market. So name, fame, money, position is all the things what you might need. And to get famous, You need to be a presenter. You need to be a presenter at different talk shows. You need to be writing articles in different web pages. So that is how you show your skill set. And after gaining access, after getting a job, most important thing for you would be something like maintaining the job. Once you are there in that organization, there are few ethics that are supposed to be followed. I can give you lots of examples of our students who might have joined an organization for 7 lakh rupees, and within a month they would get an offer from another organization for 10 lakh rupees without even notifying the organization. Probably they would jump and join the other company, which is unethical. So what we would always recommend you to be ethical, because there are plenty of opportunities in the market. If at all you have lots of opportunities coming up from the market, be ethical to the organization. When you are there in the organization, get appreciations from your management, get appreciations from your client, because these are all the things what you would showcase in the market. These are all the things you would put it in your LinkedIn profile or in your resume, saying like, yes, I've been appreciated by manager, I've been appreciated by clients of ours for my work, because that would help you a lot to getting into your next job role. And the last task would be something like clearing tracks. Clearing tracks is when you leave your organization and move on. We would not recommend you to stick on with the company for throughout your career for multiple reasons. One reason would be you would be looking, you might have got a comfort zone and you might lose all your skill set or knowledge. And the other reason might be like you might not explore different opportunities in the market. Third reason, the pay scale might be fixed. So we would usually recommend you to move on from company to company for at least for 3 years once at the initial stages. For first 2 steps, you need to keep on moving from one company to the other company. Later down the time, when it's a time for you being a senior security manager, then we would recommend you to settle down with that particular company. So there might be a number of reasons for you to leave the company, but when you leave that organization, make sure that you give ample notice to the company. Make sure that you properly transfer the knowledge to your descendant, or also complete all tasks. Make sure that you do not leave any tasks pending in your organization. Also be available to the organization whenever they need it, because if you have a good, I can give you multiple examples again of my students who left that organization, went into the other organization, but because they have got goodwill in this previous organization, they have been hired again with a higher hike back into this market, into the same company. So we would always recommend you to clear the tracks, leave the organization with a goodwill. These are all few steps what you could learn in terms of hacking your career. Yes, I'm a bit quick on this particular part, but if at all we are available later down the time, sometime over Google, Zoom and other things, I could clearly give you all examples of the candidates who have gone and the companies and other things. And finally, about security, we are training institute. We have trained more than 130 plus candidates so far, and we have 100% attrition. That means none of the students whom we have trained in our organization stayed back with the company. They have been working with almost all the corporates in the world. Why security? The other reason, most of the institutes, there are lots of institutes available in the market who also train you on information security. Few organizations, they would only train you on web pen testing. Few organizations only train you on mobile pen testing or gap analysis, SOC analysis and other things. But what we do is, I would like to show you a proverb from China. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you would feed him for life. This is what we strongly believe. What we believe is, if at all we are preparing you for your career, let us say there is a huge demand for mobile and web pen testing. I could simply train you on web pen testing and leave you away. You might get even job and get into the market, but after a couple of years, there might not be a demand for web pen testing, or probably you might not be able to move from one designation to other, and you might stuck with your job role. We don't want our employees to be looking, our students to be looking out for a job. We want them to be prepared for their career. Career is something which you do for your whole life, and we would be preparing you for career. So that means, if at all you are going through our 10 modules where we cover everything that is related to information security, then you don't have to look for another institute in the market later down the time after 5 years or 6 years in the time and start learning the subject. It is one-time shop for you to learn and get into the market. We build career at Securi. These are few partners of Security. Psychops is our service partner. So once we train the students of our organization, you learn the practicality, you get experience, you work over as an apprentice, intern, or a junior analyst at Psychops, get exposed to the market, and get into other companies. We are partnered with Nalsar University as an education partner. All our programs are certified by Nalsar. And we also are partnered with Control Z, a forensic lab. It's another lab of ours where we perform forensic investigations. These are our industry partners. But apart from industry partners, we are also partnered with Microsoft, Sophos, GFI, Cypera, and other technologies for their products. Apart from our products and partners, these are the companies. I haven't mentioned all the companies where our clients have been, our alumni has been working. But for your reference, we have candidates who have been working at E&Y, Deloitte, Pfizer, Google, Genpact, Philips, NTT Data, Accenture, ICICI Bank, Mphasis, AppNox, Wipro, you name the organization. I might have mentioned only a few over here, but there are a number of other organizations where our alumni has been working. Once we are done with this meeting, probably I could also give you references based upon your requests. And these are our clientele. We have been serving law enforcement departments. We have been serving government organizations. We have served, president organizations, revenue organizations. We have been serving pharmaceutical organizations, education sectors, ITES organizations, and a lot more other organizations, just to mention a few. So this is in short about Psychops. This is in short on demo what we have spoken about careers in information security and how to hack your career in information security. If you have any questions regarding this, you are free to ask. It's quite simple. One question has asked, once has asked that why is it 3.5 lakhs? See, usually in the market, it would be something like 25 to 30,000, 35,000 per module. If at all you are planning to learn ethical hacking. Usually, there are lots of institutes and usually they would charge somewhere between 35,000 rupees for ethical hacking module. That would be one module of ours. Web pen testing, it would be in the similar format, somewhere between 35 to 45,000 rupees. These days it is even more costly. And if at all we are talking about all 10 modules, 10 into 35,000 usually becomes 35 lakhs, 3.5 lakhs. Few of our modules are even more costly, like forensic investigation. We usually charge around 75,000 rupees. For malware analysis, again, that would be of 55,000 rupees. So altogether, it would be of a higher rate. But we are not just giving this 3.5 lakh rupees as an fee. What you would also get is, apart from being there, teaching you all these 10 modules, you would be hired as an intern. You would be paid a minimum of 3.5 lakh rupees at our partnered company once you are there in the market, and start earning that money. So whatever you pay is zero actually. You would almost earn the similar kind of amount once you are into the market. Once you are there in a job role, you would even earn more. And I assume, let me also give you another example. The faculty prices. I haven't mentioned you the salaries. If you could have observed the example I gave you, a guy with 5+ years of experience is getting around 21 lakh rupees. That means if at all I need to hire a faculty, probably I might have to spend around 15 lakh rupees usually to faculties, and we do not do all the jobs. Can we get to do job related module wise? See. We are actually planning to come up with a shortened module with 3 market-related modules. Very soon, we would be introducing a short module, set of 3 modules at a lower cost, not with a 3.5 cost. That would be of an online session. Soon, probably next week, we should be coming up with that particular modules. So if at all you are not planning to take this 10-module course, which is of a job guaranteed course, then we would also come up with an alternative course, which is of a 3 months duration, 45 days of class, where we will train you on 3 different modules. Yeah, that would be an alternate that would be available to you. Of course, it won't be of a job guaranteed thing. If not, probably Skillmonk seems to have another session coming up, so I might have to end this session. Yes, we will also help you. Though there is no guaranteed job after the 3 months course, a short course, we do have plenty of opportunities coming up in our way, and we would definitely help our students to our students would be of our highest priority. So we would help you out through getting in your jobs. It might take some time, which might not be immediate, but yes, we do help the candidates to get into the job. We always keep on getting requests from our students asking that, do we have any SOC analyst? Do we have any pen tester? And that is where we would refer our students. If no questions, I will close this session. Thank you all.